Hi, hello, welcome everyone. Come on in, get comfortable. We're talking about something that's really horrible, but it needs to be talked about in my opinion, and I'm gonna talk about it. And I will continue to talk about it until I feel good about not discussing it anymore, which I don't know when that will be, maybe never, I don't know. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I appreciate your follow, and also don't forget to hit the like button on the videos. It's my understanding that that'll help YouTube kind of push out my videos to other people who don't know I exist. I'm not a hater. I don't hate. Well, that's not true. I hate bad behavior. And as a psychic, I can't say that someone who's done something bad is a bad person. Regardless, as Americans, we cannot tolerate bad behavior any longer. It's dividing us, and that's not where I want my country. Our country is one. We are united. So let's start acting united and agree to disagree on plenty of issues out there. It doesn't mean that we have to hate each other. I might get a bit rambunctious during this video. I do feel my internal heat sort of coming to the surface with some things, not only that I researched and discovered, but also I have some messages from Spirit. I have some insight from Spirit. I don't always know what it means, but I put it out there and we wait together and see what happens, see what comes when it comes to fruition. When I go through comments and I read a question or I read a comment, Spirit's always with me. Spirit's always by my side. And a lot of times as I read, Spirit's responding, my spirit guide. My spirit guide is always by my side. I'm never surprised or put off when Spirit interjects information to me. Please stop that, kitty cat. But it is one really good way for me to be involved with Spirit and connect and see what they have to say in response to your questions and your comments. Sometimes if I read a comment, Spirit will go, yeah, that's exactly right. What they said right there, that's what happened because this, and this. So Spirit will confirm and then also give me some more information, just so you know. I am a psychic medium if you're not aware. I know. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. That's who I am. All right, cleaning the glasses down here. I'm going to kind of go all over the place. So I apologize that I'm not doing this in any order. Here comes Spirit, by the way. Who is it? Who's coming in? I don't know. Let's see. I'm just going to keep talking. If they want to reveal who they are, that's fine. It could just, it could be some spirit guides. So I'll be jumping around. Again, I'm going to sort of speak slow if I can, as to not confuse myself. So let's start right off with a question from Aaron's Zero, a follower here on this channel. I believe Aaron is female. I'm guessing the way it's spelled. If you're not female, sorry, I'm so sorry. So thank you, Aaron, for your question. Aaron's question was, did anyone run to Charlie's side when he was shot? We'll say shot. I'm not sure if he was shot or not. We're going to get into that as well. But for now, I'll say shot. Did anyone go to his side? So was Charlie assisted by anyone? And I think most of us has come to the conclusion that Charlie did pass right then and there before he was pushed over. Originally, I thought he fell over, which makes sense, right? The blood was on this side, and we saw him tip over to his left. If you watch the video, you will see the man in the black shirt, the short sleeve black shirt, rush to Charlie and push him over to the ground. That's not bad in itself, because perhaps we could say, was trying to protect Charlie from getting shot again, if he was indeed shot. In my opinion, Aaron, there was no attempt to save him, even though he was already gone. There were no chest compressions. There was no mouth-to-mouth. There was no trying to stop. There was nothing around Charlie's neck. There was no one holding the wound. Even if they knew he was already gone, I think for me as a first responder, I am trained in first responding because I've worked in education for 20 years. I think I still would have applied those steps and procedures you're supposed to do when someone's injured. No matter how severely or how minor the injury, I think I would still apply what I had been taught of pressure, tourniquet, whatever, bandaging. Certain times you're not supposed to move the patient. So Charlie, in my opinion, and I always ask Spirit for confirmation, and Spirit hasn't come out and blatantly said, you're right, but I think I am right in this. This is just my opinion, though. There was no first aid applied. Now, here's something interesting. When Charlie was sitting there talking, holding the microphone talking, he had a white shirt, and I think it said Freedom. Freedom, Freedom on it. But after the man in the black shirt had pushed Charlie down and a couple other people came over, they were doing something. You could see it wasn't first aid, in my opinion. They were doing something. And then you notice his shirt, Charlie's shirt, doesn't say Freedom on it. It's plain. It's a blank white shirt. Is it just me? Is it the trick of the camera? Is it my eyes? Were they changing his shirt? The shirt with no logo or no writing on it didn't have any blood on it. I personally haven't seen any blood on anything in that scene, on the chairs, on the floor. I don't get it. This is one thing that's very mysterious to me. They threw him in an SUV and they couldn't get the door closed. So they took off with the door open, apparently. I don't know if Charlie was in the trunk with somebody or in the back seat perhaps, but they couldn't close the door because you couldn't close the door, so they took off as is. Now, remember this guy that was in the audience, kind of front row? I mentioned him in a previous video that his hem was kind of folded up, his shirt, and he went like this, and when he goes like this, that's when I heard the pop. That's when Charlie got shot. I heard a pop, and this guy's like, you could see it in his face. He's just like, like, here we go, pop. Like, he's not saying anything, but he's like, does the pop, and then you hear the pop. This guy shows up on stage after Charlie gets shot, and he looks like he's up to something. He's looking around. He's not saying anything. It's like he had a job to do and he's doing it. Well, Audrey, that's just his military training or his, security detail training or whatever. No. Yeah, in one essence, yes, that probably was what he was doing, what he was told to do, which is get Charlie and go and leave. It's really bottom line my impression that it was Charlie's own people who took his life, and I'm gonna get into why and all that, okay? This might be a long video, but as far as I can tell, Aaron, no one started CPR or rendered aid to Charlie in any way other than picking him up and putting him in that car. Now, it's been shown to me Erika KIRK is a bigger player in this event more than I originally thought. Once you got, it comes to a certain point where you can no longer deny facts. Now, I always say I'm not a fact-based channel, but I do have some facts I want to share with you. I was shown, this is some of the spirit information. I was sitting here last night and I wasn't even doing anything to do with this case. I watch comedy a lot and just emails and different things. So I was sitting here and I was shown, it was 8 o'clock last night. I was sitting here and I was shown that Erika, within her marriage, I would guesstimate this event that I'm going to share with you happened a few months ago. Not long ago, but a couple, 2-3 months ago, at home with Charlie. I believe her to be in charge. I think she's the handler. I think she's the psyop. She accidentally revealed something. She said something that made Charlie stop in his tracks and go, "What? What did you say?" And she kind of fumbled with her words and was like, that's not what I meant. You took it out of context or something. It's my understanding from Spirit that this fumble on her part is why Charlie had to be removed from the picture, because she screwed up. Remember what I told you in one of the last videos? Every person on the team in this group of people, this organization, have a role to play. They need to stay in their role. Otherwise, there's going to be problems. She caused a problem. She compromised the entire scheme, the entire operation with her mouth. Being that Charlie spoke for a living, that was a problem. She confided in her superior what she had accidentally said. And instead of punishing her or removing her, the decision was to remove Charlie. Because Charlie can be easily replaced. He's replaceable because he had death threats all the time. I'm sure Erika probably received some secondhand threats because of who she was married to, but it was going to be easy to remove Charlie as a threat to their entire operation. So what was the information that she revealed? Well, it was not only the information that she revealed, but she also let her mask slip. You hear that word mask a lot when people are talking about narcissists. And it's like they know they're playing a game. They know they're playing someone else when they act this other way. That's not truly them. And they slip up. You see their true selves. And that's what happened. And I'm saying it right now. Spirit's showing me Charlie was so shocked and disgusted and like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I cannot believe that she said that. This is what's really happening. It put him in a very compromising situation because he's thinking, okay, if I stay with her, I'm a hypocrite. I'm a lot of bad things now if I stay with her. But if I divorce her, that's going to look bad too. So what's what? How do I prove what she said? She's going to have all these people to help back her up. He's going to look like the crazy one. You know, it was a huge, huge, huge problem. And it's been shown to me that as Erika, as this time goes on investigating this case, which we're the ones investigating, the FBI's done. No one's doing anything. As far as they're concerned, they're done. As time goes on, she's going to start feeling like she has to defend herself in some way. Now, she puts herself on a pedestal. She doesn't think she needs to answer to anyone, but she's going to be advised to sort of calm things down. How does she do that? She's going to play victim. She's going to play sorry, pathetic widow. She's just a little out of her mind because she lost the love of her life, blah, 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 blah. None of that is true. So the tactic is to approach us, normal people, using psychology to try and change our minds from suspicious to sorry, to feel sorry for her. Oh, I must have been wrong. Why did I think that about her? She's so wonderful. It's a wonderful wife and a wonderful mother. I didn't write down the name of this subscriber. I have a note here, and I apologize. Make yourself known. I apologize. I didn't write down your name. But they said that a tarot card reader on YouTube said that Erika is pregnant. Oh my God. My first thought as a human being, I'm like, oh, who's the father? How much you want to bet if she's pregnant is not even Charlie's? I hate to jump there, you know, but it's like, yeah. What? There's no proof that this woman has any integrity. And when we feel like someone has no integrity, we question every single thing they do. Breathing, walking, you know, I mean, everything. What are you? What are you doing? By the way, I want to show you a quick clip here from Candace Owens.
Sir Cox, I was also informed that the coroner in this case was also brand spanking new. That name has not yet been released. I am told that person is new. Okay. And I have also learned, I've been told that Charlie did indeed have an autopsy. I wanted to let you guys know that because I saw a lot of rumors that were circulating that he did not have an autopsy. That has been confirmed. An autopsy did take place. By the way, you should know that in the state of Utah, in case you, like me, are maybe holding your breath that we're going to see that report, those reports are actually kept private. So there isn't going to be some big release outside of what maybe the immediate family members wishing for that and saying, I feel like something's wrong and I would now like to release the autopsy report. That's the only way that we are going to be able to see it. That's at least what I've learned.
I don't believe Candace's statement to be true. I don't think she's lying. I think she believes what she's saying. This has to do with the crime scene and the coroner. We've been told from the very beginning there was no autopsy done on Charlie. That's one reason everyone's up in arms. What do you mean there's no autopsy? How could that? It's by law in Utah, if it's a suspicious death, certainly murder, assassination, there has to be an autopsy. I mean, what if he was poisoned, you know, and they just shot him to make it look like he was shot? You know what I mean? So there has to be an autopsy. And Candace came on and said, oh, that was a misconstrued. There was an autopsy, but you know, it's private. No one's ever gonna see what the autopsy says. And the reason they didn't know the autopsy was done because the coroner was new. Well, that's kind of true. The coroner isn't so much new, is that he was a friend of the organization. He was planted ahead of time to be the one to sign off on the death. So I call BS on that. Not on Candace, but on that information. I don't think that information's true for 1 second. I want to say fake. This person's not a fake coroner, but he wasn't the real coroner, if you know what I mean. He was brought in to do the job. So again, tricky, tricky, tricky. We are being tricked. And sticking with the crime scene, I've done enough crime videos over the years. Why was Charlie's team permitted to tamper with evidence on the scene? What did they tamper with, Audrey? Well, in the video, you can see people moving things. You can see that guy in the white hat taking down the camera. We can see the, is it the guy in the green shirt? We see one of the men looking around, taking something from the crime scene, putting it in his hat, his baseball cap, and then he puts his baseball cap on. What is it? Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's a candy bar. We don't know. But that's the reason why you're not supposed to touch anything on a crime scene. Because people don't know what's evidence, what's not. Sometimes the candy bar is evidence. As an example. Obstruction of justice? Yeah. But that's what's being done to us. And there's also this thing called crime scene staging. And it's my belief that is exactly what happened in this situation. The scene was set because it was a setup. The crime scene was already laid out. It was predetermined how it was going to go down. Let's put some evidence here. Let's make it look legit over here. Let's have these guys here. Let's make it look cohesive and 100% above board. It was the opposite. There was nothing aboard about that crime scene. Then they concreted over the stage. It's been a couple weeks since the crime. They destroyed the entire crime scene. This reminds me of Brian Koberger and his lawyer, Ann Taylor, having the house knocked down for her benefit, her client's benefit. So now the whole entire stage area, the entire area there where everyone was gathered watching Charlie is different. Good luck trying to find evidence now. And we know there was an escape hatch there in that stage area. That's a whole nother thing we'll probably have to talk about in another video. We are being bamboozled. And as I have always said, we may not know the person who died, but that doesn't mean it doesn't affect us personally, because it does. Spiritually, when this kind of thing happens, it creates this energy that is not worldwide, but universe-wide. In our dimension, it spans out fear and lies, misdirection. It just causes chaos. And Erika Kirk is a part of that because of her stumble of words in her home with Charlie, exposing her real life just a little bit, enough that she helped plan her own husband. Now, I can't say that that's a fact. It's not a fact. It's not a fact at all. It's just my spiritual opinion that I've been shown. Oh my God, don't listen to her. She has visions. She sees things. She talks to dead people. She thinks she knows things. She hears voices. Yeah, don't talk to her. She's just this cuckoo from California. You know what? I'm the first one to admit that. I'm proud to be a cuckoo from California. It's better than living with my head in the sand. I've been shown that Erika was not his type. It's been shown to me, and I see it right now. Charlie historically has been attracted to someone with completely different vibes than an Erika type of person. Erika's a very strong personality with attention, beauty queen, money, a lot of things that just weren't really considerations for Charlie when he, as a young man, thought about his future partner. A surprise even to him that they ended up together. Erika has or had a website. In 2009 or 2010, Erika received an invitation. This is all alleged. Everything in this video is alleged. Erika received an invitation to participate in a pageant, a Miss America, Miss USA. The whole corporation has different tiers, I believe. So she entered as Miss Arizona as a participant trying to win the Miss Arizona contest in 2012. Well, she was a first-time pageant participant in 2012 in Arizona, and she won. Okay, well, good for her. And she was quite young in 2012. She was born in 1988. So her website claims that she was also a casting director in 2012. According to her website, a casting director? Casting of what? I used to be in the acting industry. I never saw a 15, 16, 18-year-old casting director before. At 17 years old, through a church ministry, at 17, she was working with the military in Romania. That just sounds like absolute BS. Where did her parents go to Romania with her? How could a 17-year-old? It doesn't make any sense. This doesn't seem above board. Again, this does not seem above board. Something is not right. Why a 17-year-old could sort of design her own ministry that involves going to Romania and working on the military base, becoming besties with Colonel Busher, and at the same time, she started that nonprofit that we know about with the orphans. And there's a video of her talking about the orphans, that there's 75 of them, and that the U.S. military, the army there in Romania, took the children each gifts personally to each child and opened them. And then we find out that the kids from this orphanage hosted, more than one occasion, these children hosted events on base for the Army, the U.S. Army. They're hosting? What do you mean? I worked in education for a long time. This doesn't make sense to me. Why would children have to be very, very, very protected? This doesn't sound safe to me. I'm just saying. I'm not accusing the military of anything, but this doesn't sound right to me. And I love the military, and I know, people get offended. Some people get offended when you say negative things about the military. I was in the military, Air Force. I can tell you firsthand, unfortunately, I experienced something very negative, illegal. I can't talk about it. That was part of my deal. The military is just like the rest of the world. Stuff goes on. It's like saying all the police are bad. Well, yeah, there's a lot of bad ones, but there's also the good ones as well. Let's not ignore that fact. Military's the same way. You got your cuckoos and you got your normal people who are there to serve their country and make the world a better and safe place. So I hear these things about the ministry. I don't know. It doesn't sound right to me with my experiences with the ministry. Military, something's up there. Something's not right. Something is not right with that. And people are very accusatory as to why these hosting events were happening. You can guess what they're saying and what they're accusing the military of. But again, like I read to you the other day, she denies absolutely everything, that there was nothing nefarious going on. There was nothing going on except paying service to the military and paying service to the kids at the orphanage, trying to find them homes. Why does that matter? Well, what do you mean, why does that matter? It all matters. This is our world. We're responsible for children. Audrey, I don't have kids. I don't care. We're still responsible for them. It's still our job to protect them. As a human being, if you're out on the street and you see a kid in a car, not in his car seat, you're supposed to make a phone call. And I do. I have. You don't have to have a job. You don't have to work at a school. You don't have to be a teacher or a pediatrician or anything like that to feel obligated to help children. We're all obligated to help children. We're all obligated to tell the truth and not commit crimes. Do we want these kind of people running around our country? Again, it's not about hate. It's about what's right. What is right? I wouldn't want anyone I care about around an Erika Kirk type of person. And yes, we can't protect our loved ones from people like this who have their own agenda. Hers happens to be a very severe and serious agenda, Erika. But when it's in our faces and they laugh at us because they think that we don't know, that we can't prove it, nothing's going to happen because of any of our videos, nothing's going to be looked into because we're at the top and we're taking care of our own, you can F off. That's what they think of us. I'm valuable. You're valuable. Your opinion matters. Your life matters. Your future matters. And these aren't scare tactics. I'm just saying we all have the right to be involved. Because one thing I've noticed is some YouTube channels, you can tell what side they're on.
Because they're like, we have all these social media people who all think they're detectives. And they come up with their own theories and their own conspiracies.
Yeah, we're allowed to. We have brains, sir. Don't tell me I can't think. Don't tell me what to think. Again, take me with a grain of salt. Take everything in this video with a grain of salt. Don't believe everything. I am being honest with you, but if it doesn't sit well with you, that's fine. I'm not trying to tell you what to believe or what not to believe. We have to be united in the United States. I am so sick of fighting with each other. What would Charlie want? Audrey, Charlie was a bad guy. I don't, that's not what this is about. He didn't deserve to be taken out like that, I'll tell you that, no matter what kind of guy he was. He didn't deserve what he got. Okay, a couple more things I forgot to mention. And on Erika's website, it says 2006 she was modeling for Trump. What do you mean modeling for Trump? What kind of modeling does Trump hire for? I'm confused about that. And then in 2018, Trump and Charlie started working together. And a mutual friend of Charlie and Erika's, Trump, said that Charlie should hire her to work at Turning Point USA. Why would she need to work at Turning Point USA when she had her ministry, she had her nonprofit, why would she need to work for Charlie? And allegedly, that's how they got introduced. And also allegedly, when Erika went for her interview, she told Charlie, look, I'm not going to work for you, but you're going to be my boyfriend. What? That would make me not hire you. For sure. And also, one last bit of info. And I didn't take time to find the video clip, but I trust the source that I heard it from. And that was that a few days ago, Erika was on a podcast, basically flirting in front of the world with one of the guests, one of the men who was on the podcast. And this girl, she needs a handler because she is out of freaking control. And a lot of people are criticizing her smiling and laughing, the 3 days after Charlie was shot. And it's like, I would love to come at her for that, for seeming okay about him being gone. But unfortunately, we're not allowed to do that because everyone responds differently to grief. So those arguments aren't going to hold up anywhere because she's allowed to grieve however she wants, including flirting with other men, apparently. So out with the old plan A, Charlie, in with the new plan B, new guy. Who's it going to be? Any guesses? I did read that, was it Trump Jr.? One of the Trump boys was engaged and he is no longer engaged. Interesting. Okay, you guys, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for watching this video. I'm sorry it's a little bit long today. I gotta go pick up my kitty cat. He was getting neutered today and get him home and cozy. And we're headed towards the weekend. But I'll see you next time in a new video. All right, take care. See you soon. Bye.